pretty much like natural conversation. We talk to each other just like, we talk to each other in normal pastimes, you know what I'm saying, without the raunchy jokes and the motherfuckers every other sentence. But it's a light skin thing. Y'all get it one day. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One of the craziest things about it is that I thought that we do look like either two nut sacks or two boiled eggs, bro. With beards.
I was gonna leave a comment under the picture, but I didn't. I was originally going to say y'all need to put your heads together and make an ass out yourself.
Obviously, I'm the bigger one. I'm the bigger nut. I'm the bigger ass cheek, I guess. Is that something to be proud of?
I'll let you make that decision.
Maybe.
I don't know. If you was a butt cheek, would you want to be the bigger one or the smaller one? Let's talk about it.
Definitely the bigger one.
Oh man.
Star?
Yeah, that sounds like a Brazilian butt lift that only put down half the paint.
Oh shit.
Well, thank you.
Would you say, Star?
Oh, I was thinking the other Star that answered Bach when he said Star. I said, thank you, Star.
I'm gonna let that one slide.
Now look, recently in news, there was a young lady that let her child do Brazilian waxes. Let's talk about this. I don't know if y'all heard about it.
Explain this story here.
So
I don't think I read that one.
So hey Mo, if you can find the footage for me and cue it up. It's actually it was a picture of a child in between the lady's legs. Her legs are up in the air at 90 degrees, and she's literally doing the waxing. Like her mama's teaching her. In the captions, it said that she made $744 that day, and I think she worked eight hours that day.
How old was this child?
This child had to be no more than 5 or 7.
Wow.
7.
7. Thank you, Star.
7. All right.
So she's recently been arrested. And Star, do you remember what the charges were?
I sure do not. Listen, I'm going to be as honest as I can. I saw it. I read it. Saw the little news clip. I was just blown away because I couldn't even believe that she was that nuts. I would never. What was her charges?
I know for a fact it was child endangerment, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so the child was doing like actual Brazilian wax.
Yeah, bro, she was ripping the pubes.
That's very disgusting.
And dangerous. Dealing with that hot wax, and she's 7 years old. She could have knocked it over on herself. Anything could have happened.
It's just very uncomfortable picturing a child doing that. Period.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Hold on real quick, y'all. I gotta find.
You want me to read? I found the article while you find the video. This is a Memphis woman, a 30-year-old Jasmine Moss. She was booked last week on child neglect charges after cops say they received complaints about her posting graphic images on social media that allegedly depicted her 5-year-old daughter working at her waxing business. It says you see in 2 different photos, you see the little girl standing in front of what appears to be 2 different women with their pants/underwear off and their legs spread wide open. One picture, which is incredibly graphic, shows the girl wearing gloves and applying wax to the lady's crotch area. This is from TMZ.com, you guys.
All I can really say, who needs co-defendants as long as people still have cell phones? Why everything got to go on the internet? Why?
I sure would like to know why they were comfortable enough to let their little girl do it. Bad enough the mother's letting her do it. Why were they comfortable enough letting the baby do it to them?
That was going to be my next question.
I mean, all right, so looking at it from both sides, and I know this is totally opposite. When I was young, my dad used to take me on side jobs. and I used to actually help him physically do work, like to the point where when I was 12, I actually put up my first ceiling fan with him watching, but he taught me how to do things. I see it as her intentions was to teach her daughter how to do something. At that age, it's definitely inappropriate. That little girl has no idea what she's doing. All she knows is you put the piece of paper on there on the wax and you rip it off. And then,
first of all, she could have taught her how to braid hair. She could have taught her how to make cakes, food, something. Why are you teaching her? I mean, that's just. First of all,
All right. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Because
we can't hear you.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, for women, this is not abnormal, right? But let's go ahead and pull the film up real quick, and then we're going to revisit this real quick. All right.
Hit the theater mode button, bro.
Got you.
His mother has been arrested and charged after posting several photos online of her daughter waxing adults. Jasmine Moss is now facing a misdemeanor charge for child abuse and neglect. WREG's Jarita Patterson has more on a story that has garnered national attention.
It was a social media post last week igniting an online firestorm. A Memphis mother releasing photos showing her 5-year-old daughter helping to wax dozens of clients. In one of the pictures, which we are not showing, there is a little girl detectives describe as applying hot wax to the private area of an adult. Now, it is the photo of the mother seen here in her mugshot making its rounds. Investigators say what happened at this Glenbrook Street home, which doubles as a place of business, is why Jasmine Moss is charged with child abuse and neglect.
That's not what we do here in Westwood.
With there being a child involved, many shied away from our camera.
Fair
but there's
use.
no avoiding what detectives say happened that landed Moss in lockup on the eve of her birthday. There are reminders this is a home where children live, a kid's scooter, stickers decorating the front windows, and there's this sign, letting those passing by know children are cared for.
No, we can't have 5-year-old kids doing stuff like that.
Although many neighbors were hesitant about speaking publicly, many of you were not. We have learned dozens of complaints were made concerning the woman who operates her business out of her home, but she is now calling Jail East home after she was arrested and charged. While we were at Moss's home, a woman wearing what appears to be a city or county badge stopped by before continuing on to another nearby house. Property records show it's owned by those with the same last name, Moss. For now, this Memphis mother remains in lockup following a post that ruffled feathers. In Southwest Memphis, Jarita Patterson, WREG News.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, they haven't even spoke about child labor laws yet. She had her 5-year-old work a whole 8-hour shift. That's a full day's work. Like, what the hell?
I wanted to go back to that because child labor laws, right? Naturally, you're only allowed to work about 2 or 3 hours a day. I think at like 13, 14, something like that to that effect.
You can't work more than 20 hours a week.
20 hours a week. So by the looks of the house, who the fuck would go in there and get their ass waxed? Now, on top of that, let's go ahead, because back in the day, my father, I used to do auto detailing with my father. There wasn't nobody tripping off that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would work a full 8-hour day. You know what I'm saying? Average of more than 20 hours a week. You know what I mean? Do they think that it's perverse is the key? What is the ideal from everybody that's coming, like the opinions? Have y'all read?
I think it's less about the actual child labor and more about the act itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the child doing that kind of work that makes everybody's skin crawl.
So let me ask you this. If she was waxing legs or eyebrows, would we be upset?
No, I think it would be better if she was teaching her on the arm or the leg. The issue here is that um it's a couple of things. Now, women tend to, we tend to be naked or whatever, and kids tend to see their mother naked. Okay, but she's not sitting there spread eagle either. You're not sitting there with your vagina in the baby face in happy baby pose, waiting for her to put the wax on you to strip your damn hair off. That's not what it is. Also, that can give her an idea that it's okay if somebody tells her, man or woman, because women are predators too, and that needs to be put out there. Hey, let me give you a wax. Okay. You just never know. You just never know her doing those things. Um, might teach her it's okay. You just never know. Why is a little girl's face down in somebody's vagina? Why is it okay for you to have a little girl down there waxing you? I don't understand. So it's more to just, if it was her arm, I'd rather her teach
But
her on the arm
but
or the leg.
but let's go ahead and have this fine line drawn, right? Okay, men naturally we naturally don't gravitate towards open nakedness amongst each other and or our female, children or anything, right? We have boundaries, right? Women tend to not have boundaries, even amongst their male children.
For the
Women breastfeeding past a certain point to where it could be perverse, right? I want to know from a woman's point of view, when does nakedness amongst women become bad?
That's a good question.
Very good.
Well, first of all, with this situation, that wasn't nakedness amongst women. That was two women and a child. And not all women feel that it's okay to be naked or mostly naked around their children, no matter whether they're male or female. With this situation, I agree with Phoenix. She could have been waxing legs. She could have been waxing arms. If this is something that you're trying to teach your daughter, although still dangerous. But what the other part of what you have to look at is there are STDs out here. You feel where I'm coming from? And it doesn't matter that she wasn't touching them sexually. Keep in mind, on Real Housewives of Atlanta, one season they had a male dancer shaking, you know what I'm saying, his good stuff in her face, and a damn crab flew off and popped her in the eye. The same thing could have happened to that 5-year-old baby. Like, it was highly inappropriate. It's not even so much that it was perverse. It's just totally inappropriate, totally dangerous, and she should have known better.
So the business ENT Publishing Company on Instagram said, now if that was another country, would the mother be looked at as being wrong?
I don't think so.
Probably
If you
not.
go to a whole, I'm sorry, bro. Excuse me.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, we basically probably driving along the same point here because different countries, different culture, different customs. Like for real, even if we could go to a different country and how their laws, even up to the age of consent, is so not what we're used to and so not what is engraved in our mind. We look at it like, oh my God, are you serious? I mean, even in the UK, the age where age of consent here is 18, over there it's 16, and to us, a 16-year-old is a baby, so it may not be it to point GMO, and he could probably elaborate on it. I don't think it would be, depending on where the location is.
So hold on. So real quick, we got a couple other comments that we missed. Shout out to N Double. He tuning in right now.
Shouts out.
Aaron Lawson said that's crazy for everyone that's involved. Let me see who else. If y'all can do me a favor, if y'all can migrate over to the YouTube channel, so when y'all post y'all comments, we can go on there. If not, I can keep bouncing back and forth. But carry on, gentlemen.
GMO, you can go ahead.
So in my head, I have wrapped my mind around the threat of sexual assault from woman to little girl. How I have wrapped my mind around sexual assault from woman to boy, which is more likely. how I wrap my mind around predators always being after a boy. Male predators are after girls. So if I heard that she was dealing with males, that would be an abomination. However, we have this weird thing, right? So we were talking about the culture, right? And I had to piggyback off you quick. Is that in most places, nakedness, grooming, things like that, are normal. I mean, specifically one continent. You know what I mean? Africa, where it's not a shameful thing to see the pubic hairs of your mother. Neither your son even see it, right? So, and it's all naturalness, and it doesn't seem as bad if she's dealing purely with other women. When it comes to the point that Star made, as far as the STDs and everything like that, I totally get that. I totally understand that. And before you said that, I was getting ready to go there, right? So there could be a possibility that something could shake off, or you know what I'm saying? Because kids keep their hands in their faces. So I think it was more of a safety issue as far as that is concerned, not being grown, you know what I mean? And not being able to understand safety first, you
Right.
know, because as Phoenix knows, and most of us on here know with children, they like to pick in their ass and they know. So just imagine trying to tame a 5-year-old to keep their hands out of their faces. So I think it's a possibility that somebody walked in there and was like, she's not being supervised, more so than she doesn't know what she's, you know. I think there's a problem with that. She probably left the room and was like, "Nah, you could trust her. You know, she could, yeah, you know."
But
But
Mo,
I will also. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
can we not forget the fact that we can go to Africa, we can go because in Europe, yes, they are truly okay with being naked. It's for some reason here it's a problem, but in Africa they're not laying there just showing their vaginas to their kids.
That's a
They're not.
lie.
They're
We
laying
don't
there
know that.
opening their legs. Just
We don't know that.
okay. Well, we do know they walk around naked, but why would they just expose their vagina to their children for no reason?
We just don't know the
We
cultures everywhere
we
else. We
don't
haven't
think all right.
experienced it yet.
Okay, so I still, regardless of what it is, it's never okay to just sit there and expose your vagina to a child, boy or girl. It doesn't matter. That's
I
a
agree.
that's a problem.
I agree as well. The question I'm still trying to answer, basically the same question you asked earlier, Phoenix. I'm still trying to understand why those two adult women would agree to that.
I'm sure it was more than two. That's just the video. And to your question earlier, Mo, about the nakedness of women. At a certain age, you shouldn't even be walking around your kids anyway naked, but that happens. They can bust in the room or bust in the bathroom or whatever. But
only happens to women, never to men.
True. But the thing
That's
is,
because
go ahead,
not the daddy. I was saying it only happens to women because children more likely want their mom than their dad. If they sneeze, they'll look right at daddy and say, "Where's mommy?" If they want something to eat, they'll walk past daddy sitting on the couch watching TV to go wake mommy. So you can't say like that's just what it is with kids.
No, I can definitely say that. And to that
I
point
would like
that you were
to.
trying to make, the difference is that men have to set boundaries because it's considered to be perverse. Women don't think that anything is fucking perverse. Y'all preach this shit day in, day out that the naked body, from hoe walks to fucking free the nipples to all this shit, breastfeeding in public, y'all do this. So it's not that it's necessarily perverse in your minds. Y'all try to naturalize everything, which it is natural. But now all of a sudden, because it's an open clitoris, that is not, it's not
First of
natural.
all,
And that's the bodies.
somebody won't need to be in that child's face. God damn it. I don't give a damn how natural it is. It's wrong. Okay.
Thank you. And I need you to stop women because it's not a y'all women. Just like some men are dogs, some men are not. And there's also some women who orgasm when they're getting a damn whack. There's no way there's no rhyme or reason to it. She shouldn't have did it. Period and point blank. There's nothing natural. It's not going to get normalized. That little girl had no business being in between the legs of no grown women. Period and point blank.
Agreed. And to kind of to and granted, there's actual footage of this. I randomly saw this on World Star Hip Hop, like back when the shutdown first happened, and kids were just starting to do the virtual schooling and all this stuff. There was a video that popped up that went viral on World Star. This kid, I guess the kid's mother forgot that they were virtually schooling or so on and so forth, but she went into the child's room and she was butt naked. She must have just got out the shower, but she went into the child's room and she came in the view of the webcam, like she does it all the time. And then the teacher was like, shut your camera off, because the mother without just
that's what Mo was basically saying. Like,
yeah. I just wanted to throw that in there. That was a recent one that I remember that is known that happened in this country.
And that was a little boy.
Yeah, it was a little boy. It was a little boy. It was a little boy's mom.
I guess what we're finding is that the fine line between perversion usually dictates when a male is exposed instead of when women are exposed. We still haven't gotten a true opinion from you ladies of what is okay to be exposed. I've heard Star say, oh, the kids just want you, so they just bust in the room, lock the fucking door, be fully clothed. Men we don't do these things. So when does it, woman to girl, become perverse looking at the vaginal area?
It's always perverse. Well, yeah. Okay, so I was gonna say something about that too. I talk to my children all the time. And I make my girls keep on clothes. I just make them keep on clothes. I'm like, you have your brothers here. You also need to respect each other's space because not everybody wants to see you. Nobody should see your body. So I had those conversations with my girls. Now, when you're in your room, that's, you in your room. But when you're outside of your room, you should have on clothes. You should be covered. And I guess it just depends on the understanding of the mother, because some mothers just don't care. Just like Quick said, the mama walked in there butt ass naked. And it's just, I don't know. You should never be, purposefully expose yourself to your children. Ever. I don't care who it is. So let me ask you this. You said it's okay because it was a little girl with a little girl, but you wouldn't be okay if it was a boy doing a man, right?
Hell no.
Okay, so then it's not okay for a girl to do a woman.
Let's compare the two. Give me the difference. No. Let's compare the two. Throughout history, like I said before, there's a difference between penetration of a kid. If a man is in front of a girl, that's horrible. If a man is in front of a boy, that's goddamn horrible, right? But women throughout history have been able to, they don't have a protrusion other than the breast tissue. The breast tissue is a natural thing. There's no different from a man with breast tissue. So I don't feel like that's perverse. I really don't feel like that's perverse.
Because you're a man, but women have fingers. They also have toys. They have things that they can violate children with. So it doesn't matter if she does not have a penis that she cannot just pull out and penetrate. There are things that women do, and sometimes they are more vicious than the men when they violate children. It's wrong.
So hold on real quick. Just a couple comments from off of Instagram. The business publishing company said the client should have known better. What will make a client lay on the table with her legs spread eagle and let a 5-year-old wax them?
How are you that comfortable?
The shit that fucks me up is that you guys smell grown ass butthole.
So question is, go ahead, sir.
A whole other part that everybody is forgetting that we briefly touched on is the fact that there are female predators too. So let's be honest.
That's what I keep saying. I'm trying to get people to understand that. Like,
right. Women that laid up there with their legs gapped open. Nobody is looking at the fact that some of them could have been getting their damn jolly ball, that it was a kid touching them below their waistline. It's not okay. All these different cultures and women, no, stop, because that is really starting to piss me off. Women that want to be nude around their damn children, for what? We don't live in a world where it can be natural. Just because you do it in the house don't mean nothing. You're exposing your children to possibly going outside and coming across a damn predator.
That's profound. That's
And
very profound.
it almost seems like they want their child to be desensitized to seeing them.
Everything.
I've never heard of women talk about this because most of the time, and I got to be God honest, and I'm pretty sure that the ladies here on the show can honestly agree that it's encouraged. All you see on IG is the naturalness. Women can always, they are fighting to be exposed. The white women. Some sisters are doing it. You know what I mean? It's just like what's the one chick that always breastfeeds her son with her titties all the time?
I know. I don't remember,
I,
but I know exactly what you're talking about.
She does it in public, right? So to me, I'm looking at it differently than how that kid looking at that lunch. You heard me? So
right.
I think that it's a certain level of how we view things. I honestly think that. Quick, you said that. I think you said to be desensitized, correct?
It's just like when you think about it, it's almost like like the incident I brought up before when the kid was doing virtual schooling and the mom just walked in. It seems like she does that all the time because the kid didn't even flinch or anything, you know. So it's like he's almost desensitized, like, oh well, she walks around naked all the time. So it's like, so it's very weird that, or to me, like, it seems like he's just numb to that, in my opinion.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let me pose this question to everybody on the panel, right? Because I remember when I started massage therapy school, right? First, I was uncomfortable with seeing the female form because the majority of women are going to come to a bigger man, somebody that can do deep tissue massage, right? I eventually became numb to the female form and understood that this is about work. At first, it was very uncomfortable for me because I have been, hidden from, exposure, porn, and seeing the naked female form constantly was used as a tool to please yourself. But once I started understanding that this was not what it was, and it was more so for the stress relief, things like that, I started understanding like this is not perverse. This is just touch. So when do we start children to be desensitized? And you know what? I can't even say that shit. That would be foolish of me. I don't.
Yeah.
Because we start sex education. So the most embarrassing part of middle school and high school is the sex ed, right? So we do have to discuss genitalia in front of each other and the male form and the female form. Should it ever be discussed, or should you ever see it, or what?
I'll say this from experience. The first sexual education class that I ever taken, we started, because granted, like in elementary school, we have health class, but we didn't get into that part until like the end of 5th grade, like right before we graduated going into junior high, because that's when they really get into the nitty gritty of it. So I guess that was like an intro to it, I guess, or whatever. But I will tell you this, that was the most uncomfortable class that I've ever been to in 5th grade. Just be for one, just to hear our teachers talking about it, and just to be around all the other boys and girls, like we was just all that stuff is just weird to us at that time, really. So that was my first experience with it, though.
Well, sex education for me was nothing. My mother did a diagram for me when I was 6. So I already knew all that stuff when I went, and I was like, oh yeah, it didn't bother me.
My father did the same.
Yes, my mother was like, well, this is a penis, this is his testicles, this is a vagina. Da, da. And even with my children, while they were here, I've always said real names. This is your penis. This is your vagina. These your I've never said your cuckoo, your wee wee, none of that, unless I'm when they been But for the most part, I say their names because they need to know what they are, and they need to know that nobody's allowed to touch them. I always tell my children, no one is allowed to touch your personal space but you, not even mommy or daddy. And if we go to the doctor, sometimes the doctors have to check, and I'm always gonna be there. They're not allowed to touch you. I talk to my children like that because they need to know. And it's always the violation. We do desensitize our children accidentally, though, and that leaves them open for violation. When we don't tell them what it is, we don't explain to them that nobody can touch you, or go sit on this person's lap, or go get this person a hug, or do exactly what this person said. I'm gonna give you an example. My grandmother, we used to go down the country for the summer. And my grandmother and uncle and them did not play. If they tell you, if you're supposed to listen, right? So my grandmother told me not to go to Clyde's house. Now Clyde was a older black guy who just so happened to be gay, but he was very cool, respectful, never did anything. But my uncle and my cousins kept sending me over there to get games for them, and because I had to listen to them, I went. But every time I came out that door, my grandma was whooping my ass. Then she said, you better listen to your uncle. They would send me back over there. But that's kind of what that's a way of learning not to listen and learning not to care, because you can't trust the people around you. That's a way of desensitizing. So we have this girl sitting in front of a vagina, right? Waxing and working and work ethic, where she could have been doing something else. Well, she's used to seeing a vagina. And she's used to her face being there. So like Star was saying earlier, one of those to say, hey, could you touch this? When the mommy walks away because mommy trying to do something else. Hey, do you mind? Let me show you. It can flip either way. It is absolutely wrong. And she's being desensitized unknowingly. So yeah, no.
And also, I would also like to correct myself, because in 5th grade, when we had that first class, they actually separated us. They had like all the girls in one class and all the boys in the other class. They didn't give us the first
Lucky
course.
you.
Yeah.
That's
So
all
we were all together.
I literally just, which made it just, but it wasn't any less weird. It was just all the guys in there, all of us in there, just we were either giggling or we were either grossed out. So it was just weird.
Yeah. So for sex ed for me was weird because the teacher, they split us up, boys and the girls, and then when they started talking about family life, that's when they brought us all back together. But the male teacher was rumored to be gay, so it was kind of awkward for this man to be talking to us, you feel me, about sex, and we'd be like, you didn't get it right, because that's what we thought when we were young,
But no, y'all didn't say that.
Yeah, bro, we was ruthless as kids.
Man, y'all are terrible.
But it was kind of like free time because my mother already explained that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like my mother always had those talks because my mother comes from the generation where I'm gonna talk to you before the world talks to you about it, because the world's going to talk to you and tell you some wild ass shit, and I'm gonna be 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's better for you to learn certain things from me before you go out into the world and learn it the crazy way.
That's the best.
Yeah. I want to explain my outrage with this situation, because it runs right along with a conversation Jordan just had. So for the viewers that don't know, I have an 11-year-old son named Jordan. Literally 2 days ago, he came home from school and was asking me, was it appropriate that the teacher showed him a diagram of the female anatomy? It was a sex ed class. He's 11. He wanted to know from simply looking at the diagrams, well, mommy, where did babies come from? I did not drop my clothes and say from here. We had a conversation. I explained to him women give birth through the vagina. Sometimes they get cut out of the stomach. It's called a C-section, so forth and so on. He then asked me, could he see? So I went to YouTube and pulled up an at-home birth, because I know more often than not at home birth, the women are standing up. So there is no legs gapped open at 90-degree angles. And I let him watch a birth. But I did not in any way, shape, form, or fashion try to show him the answers to his question on myself or anybody else walking around him.
Fellas, before we move on, I got a question for you. Well, I got a question for Rock, at least the fathers, right? And all the fathers that's out there listening. How did you teach your son how to pee?
Of course, first initial potty training was sitting down, but then it was nigga go in the bathroom, and nigga, it wasn't you watch me. You feel me, nigga?
Mm-hmm.
Cheerios in the toilet, aim for the Cheerios.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, I really didn't feel comfortable with the you watch me. I thought that's a little that's overboard and extreme. Like, you're not about to sit here watch me piss. No, bro. Like, nah. I wouldn't.
Same here. I mean, the thin line between perversion and naturalness is so weird and such a thin treading line. But back to the business side of it, yeah, she fucked up. Like, you don't enslave a kid and have her waxing random vaginas, no matter what, But shout outs to Memphis because they crazy shit down there. I ain't gonna hold you.
In that picture, she was going for the butt too because the Brazilian is front and back.
Sheesh.
And
she got not the monkeys, not the hairy asshole.
Oh, yeah.
All the way in the jungle.
You can get waxed without your legs up. Once you put your legs up, that means they about to do your behind. That girl is all over.
That's when the wax strip gets a little dirty.
Hey, post what Camille said. That's different. They brought in outside people to teach our sex ed class. Now, Camille, I would like to ask you, what hue of people were these people?
Here we go. Wait a minute. You say you want to go ask that question no more. How you say you was going to say it? How you say you was going to say it?
No, because black sex and white sex education is totally different. And my father drew everything. And he was like, nigga, you about to have a fucking baby, you gonna fuck up, and I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, it's a difference between black sex education and white sex education.
We know all the real sex education really happened when we all snuck and watched our first porn. That's when we really knew exactly what time it was.
That's when the perversion starts, though, I think.
I would like to give a big shout out to Cinemax.
Yeah, Skinemax. No, Skinemax.
That's when the back button on the remote was go.
Oh yeah,
man, what?
So Camille said that they were both black and white. What was the ratio of black males, white males, and black women and white women? I need to know stats because it makes a difference. Because certain cultures are freer than we are. They didn't. Well, they do, but they just don't act the same as us. You know what I mean? And whether they were raised by cousins that kissed them, it's certain things that they were two of each. God damn, I'm ready to go in depth on this one. How long we got?
We got a couple minutes, real quick. You said one word that triggered me about this situation: kissing. I have a problem with people kissing babies in the mouth. You feel me? Like, after a while, that shit should just stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's terrible for just period. I don't like it. It just bothers me. It's innocent, but it just bothers me. Like, no child should get even conditioned to even feel comfortable kissing an adult in their mouth because a baby don't know no better. They just gonna automatically go do it themselves after it's done to them. So, like, nah, that's not that bothers me.
I've never
that died. I was asking Rock, did you hear recently about the baby that died of herpes after the cousin kissed her in the mouth? The female cousin kissed the baby, and the baby got really, really sick. And they took the baby to the hospital. Ultimately, the baby died. She gave the baby herpes from a kiss in the mouth.
I did not know that.
That's crazy, man. That's
This was
tragic.
this
I
was
just want to.
recent. The mother hollering and screaming and having a fit and everything because she's one of those mothers that tell her family members do not kiss her baby in the face. When she wasn't looking, the cousin kissed the baby, and then the next thing she know, her baby's dead with herpes, newborn baby.
Hell no.
Camille said that they actually brought them in from the health department, which is different. Up here, no, we just had freaky ass teachers teaching us whatever the fuck they felt, and it was
Right.
one teacher. It was not a group of people.
It was on a projector screen.
Right.
Hmm.
So look,
This is the dick. This is the balls. One day you gonna massage them.
Still had entered the
The
building.
next day you gonna hate them. Like, no, it was very simple. It was just, it was nothing to it. Like, it was. I think that our sexual education up here, in the northeast, was a little bit harsher.
So hold on, real quick. We got one of our guests backstage. Let's
Okay.
bring him on to see what his experience was in his sexual education. We got DMV Mogul himself. He's a film writer, producer, music manager. You know what I'm saying? Just also a great overall brilliant mind. Everybody, Mr. Aaron Lawson himself.
What up,
Yeah,
y'all?
yeah.
Hey.
What
How
up?
we doing, little in the building? First and foremost, before we go any further along, we spoke about it earlier, but I would like to congratulate you on the release of Bummer on worldwide platforms, bro. So congratulations on the release of your film.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's surreal. It's surreal.
Yeah.
It's
How the response has been, bro?
Congrats.
Man, it's been crazy good. Like the love, man. I had to hold back tears, man, because I'm so used to hate that I ain't even
Right.
understand the love. You know what I mean? But it was overwhelming, man. I was just overwhelmed by how everybody really accepted it and was quoting the line from the movie and everything, man. It was great, man. It was great.
Yeah, big congrats, man.
So
Thank you,
look,
thank you.
before we jump into it, let me shout out these people on Instagram real quick for tuning in. Then we're gonna zap right back to the question. Shout out to I am Elijah Harvey, I am Smokey Jones. What up, bro? Cool Grays Jones, the business publishing company, Queen TT, Hidden Valley, shout out to Lambo Alo, and Sexy Cute 1179. Appreciate y'all. Oh, and Josh is Mac. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, fucking with us. So Howie, we were talking about sexual education and experience in our region. How was your experiences with that?
I mean, mine was the same as Camille's. They had folks from the health department to come to our school. I was going to Fletcher Johnson when they had the sex ed folks coming in. But man, I've been having sex since I was 6 years old. So a lot of the stuff they were talking about, I was kind of already exposed to at a very early age, and like I just knew I was gonna be some type of sexologist or something like that. Like, cause I used to read up on diode sexology and all types of wild stuff at a very, very early age. So when they was coming in there for the sex ed stuff, I was like, I know this, I know that. You know what I mean? It was weird. It was just weird in sex ed, and people was looking at me like, how the fuck you know all this shit? You know what I mean? But I don't know. I always gravitated to. I always felt like sex was an art form or something like that.
But you said you. I'm sorry to cut you off. You said you started having sex when?
At 6 years old, man, I was exposed to it in Georgia. Young lady, I thought she was older than me for a long time. Then I found out she was the same age as me. And from that point on, but it like some people be like, all right, I was 6 and then that was it. But my childhood was very perverse and with girls. I've always had a girlfriend since that point. Like my first me telling my mother, I did it to a girl, you know what I mean, in the first grade, girl named Chico. The first girl that was in Georgia, her name was Footsie. Come to find out she's my cousin's um cousin on her father's side. You know what I mean? So it was just like normal kind of for me. We used to, even the kids that went to Bryan Elementary School, we used to have freaky every day. You know, we had
That
rape
happened to me in the
charges
South too, bro.
in elementary school. Shit like that. Like it was very, very unnormal or
North
normal.
Carolina was different too. North Carolina was very
South,
different for me.
South,
Very sexually active, very
Yeah.
different, bro. I feel you on that, young. That South was different. It's something about the heat.
Nah, nigga, it ain't shit to do down there, bro.
that's what it is. Exactly. Do drugs or have sex.
Man, we had rape cases in my elementary school with niggas pissed in other niggas' mouths and shit like that. Like,
Whoa.
shit was crazy in my fucking school, man. I got exposed to a lot of wild shit very early. Very early.
Man, sorry for that, bro.
Yeah. But to fast forward all that, like I was wearing condoms constantly. I was like getting mad at my homies who was having babies early, all that stuff. Cause I'm like, yeah, we got a fucking Mr. Yates used to be at Fletcher Johnson at the health center and would give us a 10-pack of condoms every week. So I kept condoms. I'm like, how y'all got babies? Like I used to get on dudes like, yo, y'all tripping. So I don't know. I was always like safe with it. I was the last one really to have kids. I was 23, 22 when I had my first child. Everybody else was a little bit, wilder, even though I was early having sex. So I look at the good and the bad from it.
So that education that kept you started early, but the fact that you focused in and was like you're safer. Where did you get that idea from? Did it come from mama? Did it come from daddy, auntie? Did you get that education from the school or did you get that education from family?
Man, I did a lot of sneaking and watching my stepfather porn, man. I was watching porn and he had all them VHSs and I mean puppet porn. It was all types of shit, man. Like and it's crazy. Yeah, puppets porn, man. My
That's
stepfather was
different.
a cold freak, man. So, but like I was like really, really self-educated because my mother, she worked. My stepfather was a big time drug dealer under rapists and shit. So a lot of times I was in my grandmother's basement, basically raising myself for a long time. I mean, I would go upstairs, to my grandmother, maybe help babysit. I was changing diapers and, like I was exposed to a lot of fatherhood ways very early. Even when my mother got locked up at 15 years old, I was paying my own bills. You know what I mean? I knew how to write money orders to pay my rent and get the rent in my name and stuff like that at 15. Like, my story crazy. Like Fat Coogee keep trying to make me do like a biopic, but I'm not ready for it.
So my question to you is, since you grew up kind of independently, being a father of a daughter and two sons, what was the difference between two conversations about sex? What did you tell your daughter about sex, and what did you tell your son? What was the difference?
Well, with my daughter, she was put into YSA very early because me and their mom divorced or whatever. Because she's my stepdaughter. So things were kind of strange when it came to her. She was gone to Florida at 9 years old. So I really didn't have a lot to, do with her adult, teenage to adulthoodness, which is why she got pregnant at 17. And, her mom really kind of like pushed me away from really being able to raise my daughter in so many words. But when it came to my sons, you know, shoot, I guess I'm a little forward with mine. I let my son see porn when he turned 16. I'm like, yo, you about to, you got semen about to be coming out you, woo, woo, woo. And DZ tell you, we was on our way to school, and I let him see the porn with the dude with a condom on. I'm like, see that? He wearing protection. You need to make sure you had one of those on. Like, it was like I was like in your face with it, kind of. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
That's how my father was. That's how my birth mother is. Like, really, like, was like kind of exposing me to it early just to see if I'm into this or if I'm the opposite. Because back then, being GAY was, part of the alphabet was unheard of. You know what I mean? It was frowned upon. So they wanted to make sure that I was in a manly space. So
Right.
yes, I am attracted to women. And so, all right, then my father said, he exposed me to Girls Gone Wild. I guess the pool parties and shit like that when it was, crazy like that. But
Mhm.
I had to sit back and watch this, and I'm just like, well, yeah, this my shit. So let me ask you this: did it lend to perversion or more respect of sex? Because once you see the freaky shit, you know what I mean. You hear noises, you see things that are out of the norm. You haven't aged well. You know what I'm saying. You haven't aged yet.
Right.
Did it fuck you up mentally?
Oh, I wouldn't say it fucked me up. I was like I say, I've always like not only just visually seeing shit, I was reading up on sexual stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at Chinese sex stuff. I'm looking at how to make girls orgasm. I was doing stuff at a very early age that like people was like, yo, why are you doing that? Like, what the hell? Like, I had no idea what my future was gonna be sexually. Like, it was just I was really into anything that had to do with women because I guess of my early experiences with females. But it did make me detach from love and sex.
Key.
Like
That's
I
key.
was I didn't have I could just have sex and be like, okay, good. I had no attachment of romance or relationship or none of that. It was just okay, sex. Cool. And that was that until my first love, and she like made me like look up the definition of love and all that, and then I was at 17 years old. You know what I mean? So it was just like for years I was just detached from it.
I'm not gonna beat the dead horse because we do have another guest in the background. I think Quick or Rock, can y'all announce the guest?
Oh yeah. I do it. This is what we're here for. So as you know, the topic is the miseducation of us, men versus women. This has been a very, 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 very highly talked about conversation, and I've seen some dialogues going on social media. So I gathered some great people. Of course, we got Miss Zena Rose and Miss Tiffany Michelle. They're about to come on here. We about to dive into this whole situation.
Yeah.
Hey.
What it do, ladies?
Hello. Hello. What's up, y'all? What's going
Hey,
on?
bestie.
Look at
What's
your
up, bestie? What's up?
What's good?
What's going
Hey,
on?
hey,
What we
before we
talking
go any
about?
further, can we
Okay,
say rest in peace to K, the producer?
absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely.
Rest
please,
in
please,
peace.
please.
Yeah, genuine
Rest in peace.
dude. DMV man,
Yeah,
man.
man.
He
I
was a
just
warrior.
found out as I was actually watching this show, DZ Bars called me and then Fat Coogee called me to say that he had passed away. And I'm like, wow, he was a member of AG as a producer. He created a lot of beats for us as well as
Wow,
worked with a lot of folks around.
Wow.
So
He was definitely a warrior. He fought a good fight, man.
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Tough. Yeah,
Rest
man,
in peace, K, the producer.
absolutely. So let's get into it. There's a clouded line, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna start about the unfair expectations of men and women. I think that's a good starting point. I guess some women feel like that men are supposed to be sole providers, and XYZ, and some men feel like, women should bring more into the table than they box, and it's a blurred line. So let's talk about it let's start with the ladies. From your perspective, what are some unfair expectations that you feel like men have of women?
For me, in my opinion, I feel like we lost the traditional way of things. Um, I feel like in this day and age, people want to recreate what they feel is right. Um, and I personally, I have a old school mind with it. Um, I feel like men should be the providers. Men should be the protectors. But I also feel like women have their place too that they have to play. You need to be supportive. You need to cook. You need to clean. You need to, be a backbone for your man. Um, that's kind of pretty much what I seen as far as my grandparents when I was coming up. I watched my grandmother worked as well, but she cooked and she cleaned. My grandfather never cooked, never cleaned. But he made sure all the bills are paid. He paid the rent. I think she just had to pitch in and help pay utilities. Um, I don't know. I that's just my viewpoint of it. I feel like a lot of expectations these days are kind of over the top. I think sometimes women feel like all they have to do is have sex with a guy and he supposed to provide everything and she's still supposed to do any and everything. No. um I feel like guys that expect 50-50 from their women, oh, I work, you work, and do all this, I personally don't believe in that, but I do believe in that a man and a woman both bring 50% to the relationship. And
Welcome back. You finish your what you were saying, Tiffany.
Yeah, you kind of broke up a little bit.
Yeah,
I
did you finish your point?
I don't know where I left off at, but basically,
You were talking about 50-50 in a relationship.
yeah, I believe it should be 50-50 in a relationship, no matter what it is. It don't have to be we both need to be making the same amount of money. It doesn't have to be you match what I bring. You could bring one thing and the other person bring another thing. But I think as dominant and a feminine role in a relationship, I think they both have their roles that they should play, especially when it's a man and a woman relationship.
So you mainly believe in that team aspect. Everybody got to play their part in order to in order to win the game, basically.
Yes, that's how I feel. And even if a woman is not working, I feel like she should make it easy for her man. She should be cooking. She should be cleaning. If you have a woman that's not working, that say, okay, I don't want to work, then there's other things that you can do to provide for the household. Like you can be your man's secretary. You get what I'm saying? I just feel like every relationship needs two parts that are both working really hard towards it.
You need balance.
Yeah.
Uh,
So what y'all feel? How
Excellent.
y'all feel about
Ladies,
that? What y'all
ladies,
what
hold
y'all
on, hold
think?
on. Before the men speak, let's go, Phoenix. Let's go,
Yeah.
Star. Let's go.
Let's
Let's go.
go.
So should we get Zena first?
Is a guest. Thank you.
Zena,
Yeah.
excuse me. I'm sorry.
Hello, beautiful people.
What it do?
Hello,
Hello,
Zena.
Hey,
hello, Miss
hey.
Rose.
Hey, can you humor me and just tell me you got the pink robe on?
I can tell you. I can tell
All
you
right,
whatever you want to hear.
I will accept that. Madam, if you could, if you could please give us your 2 cents on the subject at hand, please.
I kind of want to piggyback off what Tiffany said. I'm kind of in agreement with what she's saying. Like, we are meant to play separate roles, and having all these egregious expectations from one another is getting really ridiculous. Like, where is the coming together? I personally, as a woman, I'm not going 50-50 with no man. I'm not. And if that means single for forever in a long time, by all means, because my subconscious mind cannot allow you to lead and submit and allow you to be the king of the castle. And we both working every bit as hard to bring this 50-50, right? Now, that doesn't mean that a woman should bring nothing. As a woman, we multiply, right? A woman in her true divine feminist, we multiply anything and everything. So whether I'm working or not, if your goal or your dream, I'm a master networker. I will make your dream come true. I will make things happen for you. I will sustain in that sense. I will be your safe space, your safe place. You will have the comforts of beyond just the cooking and the cleaning. That's normalcies. But just being that comfort, that place of peace, that place of allowing you and helping you to reach your goals and go beyond, because there are spaces that women can go into that men cannot, and vice versa. We have two different lanes. Why do we keep trying to merge lanes? We wouldn't be man and woman if we were meant to do the same thing and play the same role.
Before we get any further, that point right there that she made is where the divide happens, because women are now more able to make in a majority. Hold on, no. Because women are more able to make more money per capita than men
Hold on,
are
bro.
nowadays.
Let the women talk. Let the women talk. Let the women talk.
For a second. Didn't you tell me to go? Let me go. I'm listening to you today. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, anyway. I was getting ready to go there, though. That's why I said, hold on, let me do it. So, understanding your point, Dina and Tiffany, it is very important for a woman to operate properly in her feminism or in that energy when she is able to. But like Mo was ready to go into, this is not that world anymore. And I'm not saying that we cannot. We can. You can still create that space for you. You can still create that space for yourself. And if you have, you can still create that space. But in this world now, a lot of times men are not making the money to cover everything like that. You can still work and operate in your feminism. You can still be provided for. And the thing is, provision is not just financial. So we need to get out of that. A man can provide for you in other ways, not just financially. A man can cover you in other ways, not just financially, because a lot of the times, like most girls say, we make more money. I'm going to put it like this. Okay. I have been in plenty of situations where I've had to cover my household financially. I have been in several years doing it, sometimes working 2 jobs. But as this person, if this is your spouse or your person, it shouldn't matter if y'all are in it together. You cannot look down on it. Sometimes things happen. If you're supposed to be his helpmeet, you're supposed to help meet the needs of the household and him. And he's supposed to do the same for you. So provision is not just financial. And 50-50 is not real. 50-50 is not real. You cannot come in half and half. Sometimes it's going to be more. Sometimes you might do 70, he might do 80. Sometimes, it just depends on what happens. So we have to come with realistic things here. You can't have an expectation without telling him what your expectation is. And he can't have an expectation of you if he is not sharing that expectation. It's unfair. So you have to sit down and understand what you can do together. Put everything in the pot and do it together. That's how you run a household. You got kids, hey, let's do this. Let's do this. Who gonna cook tonight? You don't want to cook? All right, go in there and make a sandwich. I mean, it's anybody can cook, anybody can clean, anybody can wash clothes. The thing about relationships is, are you going to do this together? Are you going to commit to doing it together? No matter what, it ain't got nothing to do with money. Money comes and goes. It's nothing. Money is tangible. But the commitment to each other and the work that you do with each other, or the connection with each other, is how a relationship works. It has nothing to do
and recognizing each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly. And you actually touched on a question that I was gonna ask, Phoenix. What exactly? Because when Tiffany and Zena were speaking, they both briefly spoke on it, but it seemed like they had two different interpretations of it. What does 50-50 actually mean?
So
What
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you
No.
off.
That was basically all I was gonna It was just an elongated version.
So my definition of 50-50, it doesn't mean I bring 100 to the table, you bring 100 to the table. That's not what I mean. What I mean is both are putting forth the same effort towards the relationship, no matter what it is. If it's okay, baby, you've worked all day, you're tired, I haven't worked. Let me make sure the house is clean. Let me make sure your food is done. That's 50-50. You get what I'm saying? That's working with your partner. Like I said, it don't have to be money. It don't have to be I work here, you work there. It doesn't have to be that. It's an understanding that each other has come in and say, okay, this is where I lack is where you pick up, and where I pick up is where you lack. That's a relationship, and that's how you keep it strong and keep a balance, because it's always a balance, in my
It
opinion.
Now,
should be.
If you
It
ask me.
should be about it.
Hey, Star, just Star.
I would
We waiting for
say,
you.
can I say this real quick? In my perspective, now, when I say 50-50, my 50-50 comes from this exuberance of men on, yeah, we going 50-50. 50-50 does not necessarily mean financially. 50-50, when men say this 50-50 thing, they usually most of the time are speaking financially, right? Everything goes beyond finances, just like Phoenix said, and I do agree with that totally. It goes beyond finances. But when you come into a perspective like, yeah, we going 50-50, no, there is no percentage to put on anything, because truthfully, we should both be coming 100. Okay, and giving our best. And 100% today may not be the same 100% tomorrow, because we're all human. We all have things going on. We have personal issues. But when it is an instant turn off, when you hear a man, or even I'm sure probably for men too, when it's just that dialogue of 50-50, or I don't want it. No, that's an instant turn off, because it's never, we all have to come with our part and play our roles. And that's not to say that a woman shouldn't work. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying you have to be a leader and a provider. You have to be something that I want to follow. If you can't lead, I'm not following you. I can do it by
Star,
myself if I had.
we got to go to Star because where you going, I'm ready to attack. So I'm gonna wait till after this
Me
is done, and
too.
then I'm
Me
on your ass.
too. Me too.
That's what we here for. Star, speak on it.
Gentlemen down, no attacking the gap. Um, well, my thing is, so in every relationship, uh, I've had my own income. I was raised that way, raised to be independent. But as I became older, I realized that what my mother taught me was a trauma response, not being able to trust that a man had it all. So my preference would be to operate in my family, which means if I am working, you know, the money can go into the bank, or if you get laid off, or unexpected bill comes. I believe that in a relationship, both partners have to give their best. Uh, but I'm not opposed to working with him and building him to the point where he can be solid provider. Because not everyone can do that right away. Sometimes that takes time, and you have to build up. So you start a business. I know how to write a business. I know how to grant proposals. There's other things where I still operate my feminine and still make sure that we good. So I prefer to operate in my feminine, but if we have to buckle down and work and get the bills paid and get the job done, I'm not opposed to that.
Let me ask you. I have to pose this question before the men really get a chance to chime in, right? Because naturally, it makes no sense to us, right? So when women say that they're operating or they choose or they would prefer operating in their feminine energy, let's define feminine energy first.
I knew you was about to ask that question because I was about to go there. Okay, so we have two parts of us, the masculine and the feminine. The masculine is The masculine is the one who gets things done. You put that work in. Masculine, whether it's man or woman, that is what's part of us. This is the part of us that go get a moment. That's the masculine part of us. The feminine part of us, we have more of the patience, the poise, calm. This is the part of us, the spiritual part. That's feminine. The ability to wait. The feminine aspect of us is more of a. So you need both to operate. Women are not supposed to always be in the go get it, go do it, go, 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 go. We're not supposed to be like that. We're not.
Oh, I disagree.
You don't.
I kind of disagree
I'm
too.
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Uh-huh.
Because as a man, you gotta match me. You feel me?
That's
I
not.
can, hold on.
Super facts.
Let
That's not.
me see.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
My energy is let's go, let's go, let's go, let's get it done, let's get it done, let's get it done. You feel me? Like I kind of feel like the balance is you feed off my energy. You feel me? If I'm on let's get it done mode, then we're gonna get it done together. You feel me? If I'm like, hold on, let's chill, let's sit back and watch and analyze for a second. You feel me? And it also flips vice versa because in a relationship, the man is not always going to take the lead. And I can tell you like this: I've been married for 14 years, and me and my wife been together for 20 years. And there's been times where I had to be like, you know what? I'm gonna step back and let you lead on this one, and I'm gonna support you the way that I need to because right now you're a little more clear headed and focused to execute and navigate through. That's just the way my household operates.
But see, the thing is, because we have. Go ahead.
I wanted to say too, Rock. That what you don't understand is you still allowed her to operate in her feminine when you decided to let her take the lead. You assessed the situation. You saw that she was better equipped to deal with it. And as a man securing himself, you stepped back and maybe you got still in her operate in her feminine, whether you know it or not.
The way you explaining that sounds great, but that's not what Zena just said. That's not what the average woman is saying. So how you're viewing it is totally different from nowadays.
From what's out in society, for the most part, they're trying to say they want to not do anything, and that's not what operating in your femininity is. That's not. It's not you just sitting back, laying back, just getting pampered. No, that's not what it is. Operating in your femininity is also a job. It is also a position. It is not just sitting back, allowing somebody to take care of you. Yes, being in your femininity means you are operating spiritually and properly, and you are covering, and you are doing the hard work that he cannot do because he can't see it. It's not just sitting back being cute. That's where the confusion
and
is.
using vibrators.
That's not all. I'm not saying this is what you ladies are saying. That's not what I'm saying. But for the most part, if you listen to these podcasts and if you listen to these certain women, this is all they want to do. No, that's not what femininity is at all. We have a strength and we have a power in femininity. The difference is masculine is action. Masculine is logic. Masculine is strength. Go. Feminine is strength in a different way. We are not build. We basically build. We basically show it and they put it into action. So we are the architects and they build it. That's what femininity is. Femininity, we draw it up. Build it. That's what it is.
And allow me a moment,
Femininity
Gina.
to me is being
Allow me to defend Dana right quick, Mr. G.
these
And said that
women feel like we have to be so aggressive and so like the women of the house. And I mean, like what Rock said, it's okay, to step up when, the man of the house feeling weak or feeling like, you know what, I'm tired, I need you, but I think it comes from a lot of women in our culture that wasn't raised properly, that had to learn things on their own. So they've dealt with a whole lot of different things, abuse, sexual abuse, neglect. I think there's a lot of things that women in our culture has had to deal with that make them feel like they have to be tough. It has to be strong or have to be so dominant because it's given, I don't want to be hurt again. It's given, I'm not going to allow, anyone to make me feel this way or that way. I have to be superior to protect my feelings and protect myself.
And they
So I,
learning from a lot of other bitter people of that bring that negative into their children.
yeah. Yeah, if you think about it and look at it, us African American women are the main, well, Latino women too, but we are the most feisty, most aggressive women, and I mean, I hate to say it, but that's why a lot of men sometimes when they get on, they start dating white women and women of different races because some women is kind of difficult to deal with because a lot of men want a feminine woman. A lot of men don't want an aggressive woman that think that, want to control everything or be on top of everything. But see, in our community, a lot of women on how they raise, they feel like they have to be that way. But in reality, you really don't have to be that way if you're meeting or if you're with the type of man that's going to allow you to be feminine and know how to take control or just take control and just be like, look, okay, well, today is not a good day for me. You have my back. You're my Coretta Scott King. So let me, in those situations, I just feel like a lot of times we as black women are a little too emotional on certain things, and it's only because of the things that we've been through and the things that we've experienced coming up. I'm not going to say every single one of us, but a lot of us.
Can
Okay,
I tell you
get to the men, y'all. Don't say we gotta get to and start. We gotta get to the gentleman after those two.
that? Can I chime in?
Mhm.
Is it my time?
Zena had a point to make. Zena
All
had a
right,
point. Then it's our turn.
okay.
I just want to say like, exactly like what they're saying. Femininity has nothing to do with like you said, Phoenix. It's not laying back and just being dainty, right? But in my feminine, in my most delicate feminine space where I'm able to thrive, allow me to be the creator, the nurturer, the multiplier in all facets of life, right? And I can do that when I trust that I have a leader. That does not mean, just like Rock said as well, that does not mean that the man is always expected to lead, because there are some spaces where I will lead better and you will accept that and love that of me, right? But there has to be balance. There has to be balance. Being in our feminine means, again, to allow us to be in a space where we can confidently, lovingly nurture, create, and multiply like we do, or like I do at the very least. I will you bring anything to the table. You bring your dreams to the table. I network. I'm a master networker. It'll happen. We'll multiply what your dream wants to be. We can achieve it. I will help you get there. But there has to be a balance. And it's an instant, again, I stand by it. It's an instant turn off when men jump out the gate with this 50-50. When you jump out the gate, when that is your motto, that is an instant turn off.
Hey, bruh. Hey, Mr. Lawson. I think it's time.
Oh,
It's time to go.
let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay, so my whole thing is, you know, let's rewind it back to when we young. And I'm not sure, what's the youngest age that's on here right now, but I think a lot of us
I'm
kind of
23.
grew up in the same era a little bit, and I wish we had some folks that was like 21 on here or whatever to kind of get their mind state a little bit. Because I think a lot of us kind of on the same page with some of the home bringing that we came up with. But being a young man that was taught to be a gentleman early on, I was the guy. Like I say, I'm having sex early and all that, but I'm bringing girls flowers. I'm perfect gentleman. People, I'm getting to people housing them parents is, oh, he is such a gentleman. He's this, he's that. But you know, as young boys, we're drilled. be a gentleman, hold doors for girls, do this, do that, do this. And girls are sugar and spice and everything nice. And we are brainwashed to this mentality of being this gentleman. And then we get boom, bam, smacked in the face with girls talking about, oh, he too nice, I'll run over his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Or
True.
he's soft. He this, he that. And guess what happens? That young gentleman turned into a monster over time. Because it's like, damn, all the shit I was taught to be nice and sweet and all that, I'm getting stepped the fuck on. And I'm tired of that shit. So now let's fuck these bitches. And now this is what they respond to. These are the dudes I'm losing these girls to that's not gentlemen. Then guess what? I'm gonna start gravitating to that way. Or at least be a little hardened to not even show my love and affection and gentlemanness. Cause I had it really bad. I couldn't stand holding the door for a woman and she don't say thank you. I couldn't stand for me to say hello to a female and she act like I was invisible. Like those things used to piss me off so bad. Like on Bennett Road or Southeast, I would throw B on motherfuckers for doing shit like that, or just like really be like I did not tolerate no disrespect in that matter. Because I'm like, why are you being disrespectful to me when all I said was hello? Or why are you being disrespectful to me when I held a door open for you? You got these expectations that this is what men are supposed to do. But in the end, y'all not showing no love back. You're just stepping on us. And I'm like, do they even teach the young ladies to be young ladies anymore? Where is that at? I'm seeing a lot of girls now just being real hard and fuck men and men this and men ain't this and men ain't that. And I'm like, where is this energy coming from? Who is teaching this bitterness down to these young ladies? And then what really drives me crazy is all these females think they queens. And if you think about it, when a woman thinks she a queen, that means she's the ruler. And I always tell people, I'm like, I'm looking for a goddess. I don't need nobody trying to rule me, be the ruler of everything. Well, how many kingdoms did y'all think was over in Africa? A lot of us is probably descendants of fucking chambermaids or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, be real. Like, everybody's not descendant of a king or a queen. You know what I mean? But I just want us to get our mentalities right. Like, a lot of mentalities is really messed up. I've heard young ladies in my Uber say men are disposable. I'm like, why is that the first thing y'all think men are a piece of shits now? Like, why? Where did this come from? And I'm done. That's my part.
I just want to say, I gotta spin the block real quick. Zena, you were saying men shouldn't come with the 50-50 mentality. Why is that? Because to be honest with you, when I'm approaching you, you got to make me want to put that up. You feel me? I shouldn't automatically come to the table saying I'm gonna give it my all because I really don't know you like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to show me that you worth that because I'm not about to go out here and give every single woman that I talk to my 100% just to piggyback on what Howie said because I'm a nice guy. You feel me? And I get walked over. Nah, that it don't work like that.
No, I totally agree with that. I'm not saying you come to the table giving, but the disclaimer, like it is so popular that you see it so much that men are just all over social media, all in public. Nah, if we ain't going 50-50, I don't come over here. That is a
Men
turn
usually
off.
don't
What
say
you
nothing
do
though, Zena.
is
Hold up. Men
listen.
don't even complain.
Let
We
me
don't say
finish.
nothing.
Let me
So the
finish.
final
Let
fact
me
that
finish.
you raise,
Let me
hold up.
finish.
Women have raised these
Let,
men to talk. So now you hearing the truth. A lot of men on
is
here
to
were
assess
raised
the
by single mothers.
situation and the person and move accordingly. There does not have to be a blanket statement of 50-50. Assess the situation accordingly. And you know, when you put that time and effort, you know how she moves. You see how she moves. You see if this is someone worth it or not.
Statistically,
You
the
don't have to
average
give that blanket statement because that's where the divide comes, and it's this big block between men and women, and it's this big men
no,
against women. You
there's not a
cannot
block.
leave them blanket
No,
statements.
Zena, there's not a block. The difference is that these young boys, because these are not of our age. I'm 42, right? The average age on here, these young men now, because of the decisions and because society has weakened us as a family unit, they are being raised by women. So now everything, all of your beliefs are now being looked at from your male children as bullshit. And they don't like it. And now they talking to you. You live long enough to see yourself become the villain, as Batman said. You hear me? I digress.
Ask a question. Oh, go ahead, Star. Go ahead, Star.
I was trying to change the direction a little bit. That's this is all fight. We really got 4 women and 4 men on here, and it is brutal. I wanted to put a question to the entire panel. I want to know from everybody, number one, where are you going on your first date, and is Dutch a problem for you?
You said where I go on my first date with a woman?
Say that one more time, Star. You were chopping
Yeah,
a little bit.
chopping in and out. Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying, for the men, where are you taking a woman on the first date? Women, where do you want to go on a first date, and will you go Dutch?
I'm definitely down for going Dutch, but I like to go places fun. I like to do like if a chick is into like adventurous stuff like bowling or riding bikes or or if she like movies that I like or anything like that, I'm all for that. And I'm with a Dutch all day long. Like if the first day we can go Dutch, that way we can kind of see where we at with it. Ain't nobody feeling like they being used at the end of the day. You know,
So
I
instead of
came up in
going
the
Dutch,
era where females knew how to finesse guys. Now it's like, give me money. I'm like, what the fuck?
you got to be careful who you're dating and who you're going out with. I feel like the first couple of times that I'm going out with you, it should be us getting to know each other, us
Right.
getting comfortable with each other. It don't even have to be nowhere that costs. We can go to the park, you know what I'm saying, and sit and just, it depends on who you're taking out and what your expectations are with this person. Now, if this a little thought bucket and you just trying to smash, yeah, take her to, somewhere, get her something to eat and make sure shit is known what's expected. Now, if there's somebody that you really find interest in and you might consider being with, then that's the type of girl that you take to the park to try to have conversation, to get an understanding, to see where their head at. Because that's the first thing. Dealing with a woman is good to listen to them, hear what they talking about, hear what they've been through, see their situations with the other people that's in their life, because those type of things speak volumes. And some people don't think it does, but what you've done in your previous situations and how you deal with your current friends and your relationship, that says a lot about a person and their character and how they're going to do you. So those are a lot of things to look at when you're dating, like men or women, for real.
That was a goaded answer. That's why you're the bestie. So I do got a question though. I do got a question though, because I want because I love your take on first dates. But speaking of first dates, I want you to speak your mind on this new generation of women.
Yeah, it's different.
Now, my question for you
Modern
is,
women.
and see, that's why Weezy shaking her. That's why modern women. There you go, modern women. That's why Weezy shaking her head. She know what I'm about to ask.
Hold on, quick. I think you skipped. I think you skipped it first. There's one question that has to be.
Come on, wait. Let me go. Let me cook first. Let me cook.
I don't know.
Let me just. Yeah, we gonna spin, but let me spin around the corner. Then we can spin around the entire block.
All right, say no more.
All right. So, firstly, Is there anything wrong with Cheesecake Factory at all? Because I saw this list recently of all these places that women don't or supposed women don't want to go. And on that list are all the good places, in my opinion. They got the best food. So y'all don't want to eat nothing?
Nah, that's crazy.
Cheesecake Factory.
That list is crazy to me, and let me say this right now. That's not for all women, because I don't even agree to that shit at all. So a lot of girls put value on things when not realizing when you put value on something, you lessen your value for yourself because you show, that you can be bought or, it. Man, listen, I could preach a long time about that.
A lot of these young girls is in competition with the next goddamn girl. I look better than her, and she got 5-star meal with her boyfriend. I want that shit too.
Yeah.
Let me just say, my ideal first date. I'm a foodie, right? I definitely like to eat, and I like to eat good. Not 5-star dining. I want you to take me to your favorite little neighborhood hole in the wall spot where we can get some good food. It don't gotta cost a whole lot at all. You turn me on to a spot that I never even had. This somewhere in the corner, and we can actually talk and get to know each other. So now when it comes to this, I'm not gonna lie. I agree with
Please, no, because that's not the value. No, because
but
I have
take me
experienced
to
this.
your
Hold on,
favorite
because now I gotta chime in. I have experienced this. Literally, I have experienced this where I have invited a woman around my friends, intimate shit, and still, nothing. That's not enough. More.
Yeah, I hate that.
But that's not the woman though. That's not the one. Next.
But I don't know. I've dated chicks that was cool with a can of corn, so I don't know.
That's real. That's somebody who will ride or die in the trenches. You better hold on to them.
They would just have. But I mean, at the end of the day, women, when you really meet a guy and y'all really into him, it don't take much. It's only when y'all trying to see if this guy's gonna coerce you to like him. But if y'all really like him, it don't take much at all. It could be straight, I like him, go straight to the bedroom. It don't even take much when y'all like us more than we like y'all.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true sometimes. And let's talk about it. Some guys don't know how to not be thirsty.
And the only reason because them niggas don't know how to hide their cheat. That first thing that they just wound up with all this sexual energy.
Man, hold on.
They more in love with you than you are with him.
Wait a minute. Devil's advocate. God damn it, we not gonna act like we haven't been shown a steak and then we come to the dinner table and our mouth ain't supposed to be watering for that steak. God damn it, let me talk to him. I'm on social media all day seeing ass and titties and mean to tell me I'm wrong for drooling?
Exactly.
I mean, that's kind of like
shit desensitized me.
Right.
I mean, that's
just desensitized me. Now a chick, it used to be a time when the chick could be get naked and boy. Now it's like, man, you gotta do a little bit more than that now.
Yo, rock. It's funny you said that. I saw like those little dating shows they be having on YouTube now where they put all those people in the line and they go down the line. Now there was this one girl, beautiful woman, by the way, beautiful woman. The outfit she had on, she was dressed very, 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 very provocative, just to say the least. Like stuff hanging out, all that stuff. So, anyways, one of the questions when she went to one of the guys, she asked like, "Where would you take me on a date?" or something like that, and he said like, "Yo, I ain't gonna front. If you dress like that, we going to the crib or whatever." And so I guess the conversation was, and she felt some kind of way that he said that, but it was the priest, and it was one of the modern women. It's like she wanted to be treated like you know, a Coretta Scott King, but she was dressed like Superhead. So it's like the presentation. I mean, what do y'all think about that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me give y'all my take on that. Now, I'm in a relationship. I'm engaged. So when I go, thank y'all. When I go out, especially when I'm not with her, I make sure I try not to dress that provocative because I don't want attention. I don't want people in my face. You get what I'm saying? If you're already an attractive woman, people are already going to, look your way. So I just feel like I don't know, it just gives a different view. Like when I see women dressed like that, when I go out, I feel like they want attention. They want some after club action. They trying to see who out there, because if I'm gonna go out having my ass out and my boobs out, I want attention. So I don't want attention, so I'm not gonna go out like that. So it's just that simple. So I feel like the women that do go out like that, they want that attention, just to be like, I got a man. I'm good. Like, what are you naked for? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that I don't get that.
Yeah, it is a turn off. But seeing a woman fully dressed nicely is very sexy. Wearing their clothes right is very sexy. Even to me, not even gay. But I love seeing women dress. I like seeing men dress. I love seeing men dress. So it's like we've taken the mystery away from ourselves because we show.
Hell yeah. Man, I really feel like girls have no shame anymore. There used to be a time when a female would be like blown if she was known to be ran trains on, or known to be promiscuous. Now it's like I don't give a fuck.
Because the goals and the morals are taken away. Like, we don't have goals and morals and things to stand up for, because everybody wants to live in their own right. So everybody wants to make their own rules and make their own, speculations on what's right and what's not, when it's already written that what's right and what's not. You just don't want to hear it. Some people just don't want to hear it.
And that's where the fucking confusion come into play. Cause like, you want me to treat you fucking like you're an innocent, soft, sweet woman, but you're a hard fucking whore. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to treat you fucking better than you treat yourself? Like, it's hard for a guy to check. Like, okay, how do I do that? Like, what I see is a duck, but you want me to say you a goddamn swan? Like, I don't get it.
But what you say to those women, you say nothing. You act like they don't even exist. You give them no attention, no play, no nothing. That's what you do.
I don't. I definitely don't. I don't.
So listen to everything that we've said thus far, because we went overtime, and this has been a beautiful conversation, igniting, right? And a lot of people this year said that 2024 we have to dead the male and female competition or the competitiveness that we have amongst each other. So let's do this. How do we mend this relationship between all of us, men and women?
I say I'm gonna kick it off and then I'm gonna let y'all talk. I say honestly, it has to be less talk, more listening. I think the biggest thing is, and the greatest thing is, we were able to sit here all together just now and really speak our point of view. You know what I'm saying? I actually kind of got a little deeper understanding on when a woman says they're operating in their femininity. You know what I'm saying? That was something that I never really understood, or I assumed it was a certain way. But I think like the biggest thing is like it has to be more listening, because how can I learn your point of view if I don't hear you? If I'm listening to respond, you feel me? If I'm not listening to understand, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me. What y'all think?
I think I agree. When the opposite sex get together and they have these types of conversations, one thing that gets lost, that it turns into like depending on who the two parties are, it turns into a heated exchange, because there's more talking and not enough listening. Because when you listen, that's when you understand, and when you understand, that's when you can find, for one, an understanding of where that person's mind is, and that's when you can formulate the proper response to on both sides to find the common ground, and that's where solutions come about. So the listening aspect of conversations do get lost, especially when people fail to take their ego out of it. So all in all, I agree with that.
I feel like it's a lack of big mamas. We got some punk ass big mamas out here right now. Ain't none of these classy women checking these little heifers out here, and the guys are fed up and saying stuff, and we're being attacked because it's like, oh, y'all women bashing. Like, if we're not saying anything, you're not saying anything, when the fuck is something gonna change? Y'all punk ass non-big mamas. Y'all, they not my kids. They not my daughter. Like, what the fuck?
See, let me tell you something, Howie. I'm on a show called Boss Queens. It's a reality show where DMV girls come together and they think that they're bosses, so they're competing to be bosses. Now, I had my own team of girls. Now they did an audition where they audition girls just from the area. You can come in, you know what I'm saying, and audition. And we had a lot of girls come in, so I had my team of girls that said they were bosses. There wasn't bosses, and I tried to mama them. And you know me, I'm gonna say how I feel, and I got into it with almost every girl on my team. They all wanted to fight me. They all, mad at me. And it's like, these girls never had a real person.
No respect.
Truth. Their mama didn't love them enough to tell them the truth. Baby girl, stop doing this. You need to do this and need to do that. So when I come in and I say, little girl, you need to stop doing this, stop doing that, it's disrespect. It's, oh, you're crashing down on me. You don't love me. You're trying to go on me, instead of accepting that what I'm saying is real. You're not a boss yet. This is what you need to do to get there. You can get there. You know what I'm saying? And they can't take it. Shit, they can't take it. I wish I could go out here and tell these little girl, put some clothes on. What you doing?
So
They're gonna try to fight me.
So question, do you think that one of the issues in that is that some women or some girls who lack that, they have a trouble accepting someone who actually has a genuine care for what they do out in society?
Man, these girls are lost. A lot of these girls are lost. A lot of these girls have been molested, have been neglected by their mother, neglected by their father, never had a father figure in their life. Their mother is a product of a whole nother situation where she don't know what she doing. So you got all these generations of people that's in their life, and the only way they can get love is to dress provocative, so they can go out and have guys be like, oh, hey, I want you. You get what I'm saying? Some women feed off of that. Some women wake up every day.
Attention is the worst drug in the world right now.
Listen, they put their makeup on, buy clothes, get their nails, do all that, not for them, but for everybody else, because they need acceptance. They need to feel love somewhere. And it's sad to say, sometimes sex, they feel love. Oh, you want me? It's sad, but it's true. The most love some of these girls ever got was having sex with a guy.
And I ain't gonna just beat down on these young dudes is lost too. They lost in the sauce, disrespecting women, talking bad to older women, putting their hands on these like, whatever happened to the code? The code all fucked up on both sides. Disrespecting your mother, disrespecting, just cussing around adults. It's just, the code is fucked up.
So what we do about it? What can we do as the older people, as the old heads of the community, as what they call us?
So before I left Bennett Road, I took on like the OG mentality. When I was coming up, the OGs would check us when we was out of line, and we was being wild and rambunctious. I'm getting punched in the chest or something. You know what I mean? And my mother ain't catch an attitude or nothing like that. But when the time came for me to check the youngest below me, I had fucking mothers, aunts at my door. Why
grandmamas,
son,
granddaddy.
this, that, and
Exactly.
other. And I'm like, yo, he was out here being wow. I'm up there trying to keep the little fast 14-year-old girl from being in the 18-year-old nigga faces because I knew them niggas was hawking her little ass. I'm like, take your little ass in the house. I knew what time it was. But, you know, you don't have the reinforcements of the parents. They quickly to think that you are trying to abuse their kids, or they got this mentality, when I was younger, people did this to me, so I'm not allowing this. But their kids is fucking so fucking lost, and the parents is some punk ass parents. There ain't no big mama, ain't nothing. It's just they lost, man. It's
Yeah,
lost.
the youngest don't even have no respect for the OGs. You can't even OG them like you used to. They don't want to hear that shit. They want to fight.
Yeah.
They want to shoot.
Hey,
They
but
want to
guess
do
what?
dumb stuff.
Big mama used to beat the shit out you. Let you want to fight Big Mama. Big Mama slap the shit out your little ass. And that's
Well, that's why
slap the shit
that's
out their ass.
that's why we got to start right here. Everybody, every lady on here is a big mama in training. Phoenix, I'm about to go to the store tomorrow and get you 5 moo-moos just so you can practice.
Yeah, get
So
you that.
we gonna,
You gotta get that motherfucking 15-inch ruler. Gotta
and
get
I'm gonna
that
get you,
and be ready to slap down on some man.
and I'm gonna get you some brand. I'm gonna get you some brand new. I'm gonna get you some brand new hair rollers too.
Not the hair roller.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know about all y'all, but I do try to mentor the youngins. Like, even with my sons, I'll be like, don't even try to talk to them. If you see a chick be disrespectful to her mother, don't expect her to respect you. She all fuck that bitch to her mother and talking about her father in a disrespectful way. Leave her the fuck alone.
Yeah, like that's all around for me. For me, that's very, very unattractive, because like one of the main things that I find attractive in a woman is class. Like you got to present yourself in a classy way in order for me to really be attractive. Definitely, you can't. That comes with the class, you know. If you, I would suspect a non-intelligent person wouldn't really be classy. So.
You got some dumb classy bitches, but yeah.
I've never seen one in my life. If I did, you got to point them out next time, bro. I need to see what that looks like.
All right, I will.
Now we're talking about how you can't talk to the young kids. You can talk to the young kids. Some of them, like, who you respect. You have to come with them and earn their respect. I talk to children all the time. I talk to my kids' friends. I talk to the neighborhood kids when I see them. You don't have to be all in their face. You ain't got to do it. No, you go to them. Hey, sweetheart, how you doing? Well, you know, y'all ain't gonna talk like that, but you know, talk to them. Tell them something. Let them know how handsome they are, how smart you are, or ask them questions about them. Children will respect you if you put interest in them. If they don't think you're playing with them. We always try to, you know, they got to respect that. It's a lot of adults who don't respect nobody. And they
that I agree with that 100% too.
They feel like they're grown, and
hypocrites.
If you expect respect, you have to give respect. And these kids are not just giving respect out because they see how stupid a lot of these adults are. You can go to these kids and say something to them. I walk through people all the time. How you doing? What y'all doing today? That's all you got to do. Just drop seeds. It's important to just plant seeds. You don't have to reap the benefits. You don't have to see it, but it's there. And one day, with watering or even just things around them, once you put that seed, it's going to be watered naturally. Once you put it out in the atmosphere, it's just going to feed it. And it eventually will grow within these children. It is our job to plant the seeds. You can't feed everybody. You can't nourish. You can't plow unless it's your kids or somebody close to you. But the children are out here keep going. That's how you change that. Even with adults, some crazy adults out here that think they know everything and don't know nothing. You plant within the adult. Some people don't lack in love, lack in understanding, lack in compassion. There's a lot of people in survival mode. Nobody fully understands what a person has been through until they tell you. So if you walk in kindness and you walk and compassion. And you see somebody and say, hey, you're going to be all right. Hey, I like your shirt. Hey, you smell nice today. Just little stuff like that help turn the trajectory of people's day. That will make them do the same for other people. It starts with you as an individual, and that's how you will change the world. But if everybody pointing fingers at each other, you ain't shit, you ain't shit, you ain't this, you ain't that, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. Who's going to take accountability for anything if everybody pointing at each other? We have to take accountability for ourselves in order to change anything around.
After this, Star.
Well, I have 2 points. I piggyback for Phoenix was just saying. I have tons of parents of when they come to my house. Like, they can be outside fighting all the time, always some mess, but they know when they come to my house, it's a place to come to be a kid, to chill, to watch TV. And I like, I have little boys that go to my door talking about mom, this my girl, this my other mother right here, this at home. So it really see them on the street, and also how you carry yourself as an adult. If you carry yourself with respect, they'll see you as somebody who needs to be respected. To the other point, back to Mo's original question, how do we start the healing between the constant battle of the sexes? People have to learn to get out of their egos, and that's men and both. Start operating from your id, put your ego to the side. Nobody can lead, no leader has ever not known how to lead. Okay, and for women that want to operate in their feminine, make sure that you know what you feel. Make sure that you have clear conversations with you when it's your time to keep up and when it's time to follow. If you don't want attention as a woman, don't have your okay, but at the same token, men don't be wolves. Like Rock, you say about a juicy steak. Nobody is ever complaining about a man over a steak, but guess what you're not doing? You're not biting the chef. It's a whole different world out here. I just saw a video on Instagram. The guy was asking one of the girls, 4 girls out eating on the terrace. The guy was asking one of them for her phone number, and she kept saying no thank you. And he was like hovering over her. But I was just like, you just leave. Like, she already said, this man walked a feet away and got his gun and 4 women away because one of them said, no, you can't have my phone number. That is the type of work today.
That's
because those
ethnic rejection.
I wanted to give this parable, and it's not even a parable. It's a fact. I'm sorry. Did I cut you off, Star?
I was just agreeing with Howdy. It's rejection, but women do it too. We live in a society where everybody chooses and want to operate in their ego. Everything is a you can take a no thank you or I'm. We got to get out of our ego.
I wanted to say this because I actually got a job off of this example. Is that if you ever take a chance to look at a wolf pack, there is an alpha female and an alpha male. Both the alpha female and the male let the older ones lead from the front. The alpha female is the dominant one that regulates the women and the young boys and the children. The male reinforces that and instills fear when need be. So when we talking about 50-50, I think that's the idea, is that at some point in time, mama gonna do what she do, and she sees something that daddy don't see. Daddy gonna see things that she don't see, and he gonna go too. So I want y'all to look that up. Look up the wolf pack and how they lead. And I think that that's my idea, and should be the idea of a human pack. You know, when need be, when we're needed. You know, not what we want, but when we're needed. And that's how I feel like we should lead. I'm sorry, my bad.
Bro, that's some light skinned shit to get all poetic at the end of the show. I just wanted to say that. You see how he just calmed down?
Everything got to come full circle. Okay.
Hey, look, I feel what y'all saying, but y'all might look at me a certain way, but FTK, man, fuck them kids. Sometimes you just gotta let life spank them on the face. No, seriously. Like you can talk to kids until they blue in the face, but sometimes, and we as adults, we know that sometimes the best learning experience is when life taps you on your ass. We
Yeah,
always get those settled thoughts, those settled reminders. You feel me? That we're not supposed to be doing this. It's always a sign. If you out in the streets, it's always something happening around you to your people that you're seeing. Damn, this could be me next. You feel me? It's always some type of sign, and we never take heed. So instead of talking blue in the face, you can only show a person and tell a person, but so many times. And at one point, you just gonna have to throw your hands up and say FTK. Fuck them kids.
Yeah, some of them gotta learn the hard way. You gotta have tough love sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially if you can talk to them, put all the, the rights and the wrongs in them, and they still choose to go to the dark side. All you can do is pray for them at that point.
Man, look, I ain't gonna even put them out there. I got a real close family member right now that's facing some big time, and I've been trying to mentor since they were a youngin, a kid. We talking elementary school, seen the signs, always tried to. It's always been an excuse why I can't do it. Oh, I want to do it, but I'm not going to do it. At a certain point in time, I had to be like, all right, little youngin, you old enough where I already told you enough, but you should know better. So I can't stay on you. I just gotta put my hands up and let life guide you. And unfortunately, where I was trying to keep him from, he's there. This is a situation where he got to sit down and learn that shit for himself.
I want to make sure we bring it back to mending the relationship, because this should be our last conversation for 2024 as far as relationships is concerned. I know that each and every one of us are Facebook friends, and we go through these issues, right? And we get defensive when one sex is blamed or the other one bears the burden. However it's looked at. I think that for peace, we're going to have to look into ourselves first, and then we just come together and understand that our weaknesses can be eventually our strengths. A lot of us don't understand that. I don't think that this is about dominance. I don't feel like that we're in this situation because of that. I think that the main reason why we are in these situations is because of money and because of exposure, right? So the fact that we have attention placed on us, that everybody feels like they have the biggest part of the pie, and that they are the one, or how they view things. You know what I mean? Like y'all say, ego is no longer I, it's we. You know what I'm saying? It's us.
And also, let's not forget how similar we are. I think we forget that we're all like, we think different. We have certain things we do different. But if you think about it, men need time and attention. Women need time and attention. Men want love. Women want love. We all want the same things. It's just we put it in different importance. So we just look at each other as my other half or the other me. We would treat each other better, and we would take time to listen and care what other person wants.
Well, it's been a great episode. We've been past our normal time. I want to especially thank our guests for tapping in. This was a great conversation. We got to do this again. Normally we would have quick off the final goodbyes. Let's start with our guests. Where can we find y'all at? Let's start with Zena, Tiffany, and then
You already know. Facebook, you can find me as Zena Rose. On Instagram, OG_Queen_Goddess. Love you guys. Thank you for having me.
Yes. This is Tiffany Michelle, Tiffany MJ. You can catch me on Instagram as Tiffany MJ. Tiffany Dior on Facebook. Thanks for having me. I enjoy myself.
And I'm Aaron Lawson, aka Howie Doolittle, to the ones that know me the most. You can reach me IG for THA Truth or Facebook under Aaron Lawson. And I would like to revisit this conversation maybe in the future with some younger audiences, because I really think a lot of us got some of the same upbringing a little bit and understanding and matureness. I really want to have this conversation with somebody in their late teens up to 25, 30, and really see where their mental is. But other than that, man, I love it.
Man, and of course, this is your man, Giamo, aka the God, aka Tippy Toe Spanky him. You heard me? I gotta learn how to talk like Zane and them. Like, hey, look, let me see if I can size myself. The God. The answer to
Got
all
right back in
questions.
then.
The
I got
nigga
right back in
to
time for
be
that
with.
outro.
But of course, y'all can reach me at
Bruh, I thought you said you weren't gonna drop the N-word until after Black History Month.
Yeah, he fucked up
I was
already.
talking about me. I was talking
I
about
swear,
me.
bro.
I'm trying to be black,
No,
bro. I'm trying to be
that
like
still
Aaron,
count.
bro. My bad, bro. I'm sorry about me.
That includes referring to yourself as such.
I'm no longer like, bro. Hey, look,
Don't
this
matter.
light is terrible. See, look at the shade. Look at
He's actually
shit,
pink
I'm
right
still
now.
white. Nah, but you can reach me on all platforms at g.i.moe, man. I appreciate all the guests, man. Y'all had wonderful opinions. I'm out of here.
Y'all already know the vibes. It's K Quick, Beats, Bars, and Faith in the building. I am KQuick.com. Real K Quick everywhere. Y'all know these vibes. Yeah.
I am the Blue Phoenix, guys. You can carry with the Blue Phoenix Hills. I thank each and every one of y'all for being on the panel. Y'all know I love y'all, and I appreciate all your insight and your perspective. Everybody that was watching and tuning in, thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys and have a most wonderful night.
Salute.
That was terrible.
I think that everybody should remember to leave with a little bit of love because it can go a long way. Just start, and as I always say, catch me in traffic, just do not run me over.
And as always, y'all can follow me on all social media platforms. Shout out to the guests for coming in. But before we go, hey, look, Howie, you just dropped your movie. I got to do a shameless plug for you because me and my egghead brother made a cameo in that joke. Go ahead, find us. We in there. Go ahead and let them know where they can find the movie at.
Man, as of right now, it's on Tubi. If you don't want to see commercials, you can go on Vudu, which is Fandango. And you can rent it or buy it without commercials. And also on Hoopla, which you need a library card or library access to be able to get the app for that. And in a month, we'll be on more platforms, and I'll definitely let you guys know about those in the near future.
We'll bet. In the meantime, let's run this trailer real quick.
Appreciate that.
Of course I will, yes. Your girl's engaged. Congratulations. Yes, baby. Tam, what the fuck is going on here? Really? What the fuck is going on here?
Fuck.
Who the fuck is this bitch?
Ain't no bitch.
Bitch.
You need to calm down. That's my fiance.
Yeah, I'm not your fiance no more. Just 24 hours ago, you gave me a ring and you doing this shit.
I want you to understand that this is a no judgment zone.
I have dated all kinds of people trying to find my love. I just was like, I give up. Like, I give up.
Okay,
It's something wrong with me.
Hey, big dog, you not gonna hold the door before a lady?
Man, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Okay, so who is this like mystery man that I ain't heard nothing about?
What was your name again? I forgot.
It's Jacob Reeves.
Oh, well, I'm Jaleesa too. It's nice to meet you officially. So what kind of work does he do?
Yeah, the crackhead or drunk.
Oh my God, the pipe down, need it right now. Lately I've been going till the lights out. Got my face up and my eyes down. Shawty, now you know what this is like now. Now I got a big drop top and I'm rolling. And I told my
You gotta work it out. You have to, because you touch me. I don't know. I feel like I done already fucked it up. There's a possibility for you to find the love of your life. You just gotta take my advice and you will find it.
Cause you know I'm zoning. Shawty got away, we been chilling by the ocean. I told her my way, what can I say? Ooh, I got him looking at me sideways.
I'm hit you with this bag, keep playing. No, I ain't talk to no bum. You messing with a bum. Here you go.
No, I think she wanted to kiss him, bro.
All right, chill.
I don't got no time for misses. Shawty wanna ring, yeah, she tryna be a missus. I've been so ahead, I don't think y'all really get it.